y'all two together and being together till death do y'all apart. A successful relationship is the prize. It shouldn't be 50-50, 70-30. It should be 100-100 plus what God's putting in. It's a threefold cord. Whatever the case or your association with somebody is, for me, any association that I have with somebody, all I want to do is bring you closer to God, give you a smile on your face that day because you ran into me, because you know me. I just want to add to people's life. I don't never want to be a liability or take nothing away.
Style. Style is the answer to everything.
What up, though, my babies? It's your girl Jenn checking in, and you already know what time it is. It's time to just kick it, right? So I'm grateful that y'all popped in with me for another episode of You Know What I'm Saying, because y'all know what I'm saying. I feel like my peeps, we be here with it. And if you don't know what I'm saying, you're going to learn today. And maybe we can relate. Maybe we agree. Maybe we don't. Whatever the case may be, I want to hear what y'all got to say in the comments. You know, this is a safe space. If you don't know, I am your slightly thick, extremely colorful bestie, sister, auntie, cousin, girlfriend in your head. Whatever you need me to be, I'm showing up for you in that space. This is a safe space. We are a group of believers on a journey toward Jesus, from wretched to righteous, from whole to holy, from thug to theology. We're going to read our Bible, learn our Bible, and apply it to our lives. Now, today I want to talk about a subject that it's a tale as old as time. Okay. The fact of the matter is, the dating pool, especially in Detroit, in Michigan, whatever, it's pretty much freaking a cesspool. Okay. And everybody got one thing to say, either women asking for too much, men not giving enough, women not doing enough, and it's a never ending cycle where it seems like, to me, the underlying theme is that we all going to the wrong source. Are women asking for too much? Are men not giving enough? The fact of the matter is, women, we should be asking our Lord and Savior, and men, you should be drawn from Him to provide for yourself and for whatever woman that's going to be in your life. Feel like the fact that we are all leaning on our own understanding and in our fleshly, thinking about our fleshly abilities, we are therefore anxious. The men feel like the women asking for too much. The women feel like the men ain't doing enough. And it's because we're looking at the wrong source. We focused on the wrong stuff. In other words, we need to be, as a couple, people in general, especially when you get together as a couple, you need to be focused on the Lord. And hey, I don't mean to sound preachy or nothing like that, but this is what I'm telling myself. This is how I understand. This is why men feel like women asking for too much, because it comes from a sense of lack. You thinking from what you got. You thinking she's trying to take you for everything you got. But if you looking at it like both of y'all is going to the Lord to make sure each of y'all got what y'all need, then that mentality don't come. If y'all both understand that God is using y'all to take care of each other, nobody is feeling like they being used in the situation. So, and I feel like one of the ways that the enemy has perpetuated this situation is by making it so that, first of all, there's a maturity gap between men and women. Let's just be for real, okay? From elementary school, girls are striving to be, mature young ladies. They playing, house with their dolls. They learning how to cook. They learning how to clean. They looking up to their moms and their aunts, trying to be like them. Boys, on the other hand, hey, good morning, sis. Boys, on the other hand, they playing with dirt. They climbing trees. They, waiting on their mama to take care of them. Meanwhile, 9 times out of 10, the sister is somewhere following behind the mama, learning how to take care of the little brother. learning how to take care of the big brother, learning how to take care of the daddy, learning how to take care of the house. Meanwhile, the little boys is somewhere probably still learn how to tie up his shoe. Boys pee in the bed longer than girls. Like, let's just be for real. It's a maturity gap. This is no shade. We need y'all. Me and y'all is important. But I'm just saying, this is something that needs to be understood when we looking at this whole situation on men and women and the relation between the two. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why men go after younger women and why, younger women are attracted to older men because men mature slow, right? So one of the things that men do when they get old enough to get some money, they use their money to mature them, right? They get a car, they get some glasses, this is how they market themselves to older women or to women, period, right? Because most women is looking for an older man. So if a guy now he 18, he got to compete with 30, 40-year-olds for the 18, 19-year-old girls. So what he got to do? He got to use his money, right? To make him even comparable with these older guys, right? But then what happens? Now, if a female is expecting or looking for a man who is financially stable, who is going to provide for himself, even because these younger guys, they will get a couple of dollars to front, stunt, and then when they get with this woman, it's all everything changed. Now she got to be responsible for everything. She got to make sure you stay out of jail, first of all, because 9 times out of 10, if you 18, 19 and you flossing with all this extra money, you back when I was a teenager, you was doing some dope, dealing, selling, something like that. Nowadays, the young men is scamming because 18, 19-year-olds, they monetarily can't compete with the 30-year-olds that's coming for the women in their age group. And that's what the women want to date because we don't want to have to pay for everything as 18, 19-year-old women. We ain't got no money either. So we see these 30, 40-year-old men that's coming to wine us and dine us. Of course, we're not going to be looking at the guys that's our age. So it's like it's a never-ending cycle. Whose fault is it? I don't feel like it's nobody's fault. I just feel like it's the way that it is. I mean, let's be realistic. So let's just have some real talk. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, it's a pattern that starts early. I'm talking high school. You see the freshman with the senior. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be for real. And yes, there is a double standard. Let's be honest. When a man is 45 and single, people already know he still got options. He can still have kids. They call him a silver fox. Look at Method Man. Look, I listened to a Breakfast Club interview with David Banner. And when I tell you, David Banner is handsome and he's smart and he's a catch as a black man. But it was crazy to me because it's like, David Banner, you done been famous. You done have all this money. You done went through all of this for the last 20 years. You been sowing your wild oats. I probably done ran through all kind of good women. And now he 50 and he now he ready to settle down and get married and have a kid. And it's just like, okay, that's great and all, but who you finna settle down and have a kid with? Somebody that's clearly gonna have to be 20 years younger than you because you're not. Don't get me wrong. We already know David Banner got a coin, and so he can take his woman to a fertility clinic and he can have a woman well in her 50s have a kid. But I doubt very seriously that he's going to get a woman his age to have a kid with. He's going to get a woman that's in her 30s, 40s at the oldest. And if he's talking about he ready to settle down now. So it's just like all of the women that you was dating, that you was putting through or whatever you was putting them through to where y'all not together now, it's like, oh, they just had to get the dog or get whatever, you know what I'm saying? And now, they who knows how many years they gave you to where now they're in their 50s. And it's like, what do they have? What do they have to they can't say, oh, now I'm ready to settle down and I'm gonna have some more kids and start a new life. Pacino, 80 years old, still having kids. My own daddy was 67 years old, still having kids to the day he died. But when a woman may maybe waited till she was 50. Like, okay, now I'm ready to settle down, give me a husband, maybe adopt some kids or help him with his grandkids or whatever. It's like, oh, well, you done been a hoe for the last 20 years. You got 4 kids and 3 grandkids. Like, no, I don't want nobody with no kids. I won't, especially if he 50 with no kids. Oh, now I want to find somebody with no kids. Like, I'm just saying, because I done been watching Pop the Balloon. Y'all know I was on Pop the Balloon. So I done been watching Pop the Balloon. And it's just hilarious to me how guys can be like well into their 30s and 40s and be like, oh, well, I'm ready to settle down now, and I don't want nobody with no kids. It's like, sir, you have nothing to do with her kids or whatever she was doing before you. If you looking for a good woman, why is it that y'all feel like once other men done dogged a woman and treated her bad, it's like now she got to deal with that. She got to suffer for y'all's boys. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all act like y'all don't understand. Women go through stuff. Women go through stuff. Half of our 20s, we try not to just, I know me personally, half of my 20s, I was trying not to have no kids out of wedlock or period. I just didn't want to have no kids at first. Then as soon as I started having baby fever, pregnant, it was like literally within that year, I want to say, that I started to have baby fever where I was like, well, maybe I will have a kid. I got pregnant. Okay. So that was that. And that was the grace of God. That was literally the grace of God because I haven't got pregnant since. You know what I'm saying? I was on birth control for a long time because what? I didn't want to have no bunch of kids out of wedlock, right? And then it's like when you reach the age to where, and I felt like at the beginning when my daughter was younger, I had a couple of relationships. I was engaged twice. I was engaged to my daughter's father. That's all necessary. So a total of 3 times I've been engaged. But I'm glad that I didn't get married none of them times because I would be divorced. I don't want to get divorced. I want to get married and be married one time. So in the beginning of my daughter's life, it was like, okay, I'm having these relationships that's supposed to be lifelong and they're going to help me raise my daughter and I'm going to help them raise their kid. And they both had sons. And, it was all hunky dory until it wasn't. Well, now fast forward, my daughter 8. It's time out for that. Okay, if I ain't married by now in 8 years, 2 failed relationships, I'm not getting into a third one and bring another man into my daughter's life and house. She finna start getting older, puberty finna step in, and no, at this point, I can just wait until she go to college and focus on myself. Right now, I'm focused on my daughter and making sure that she gets a good education, making sure that she can follow all of her dreams, and yeah, it'd be easier if I had a man helping me pay for all of this. But you want to know what? My peace of mind, knowing that I can go to sleep and wake up, knowing that it's no way in hell nobody's messing with my daughter inappropriately, that's worth much more. I will, you know, sacrifice tooth and nail. I will, I go to the blood bank. You understand what I'm saying? It's nothing I won't do for my daughter. Let's be honest. When a man is 45 and single, people say he still got options. But when a woman's 45 and single, they say she's washed up, missed her chance, used. Like I had a whole conversation the other day on Facebook about like what is used coochie? Because obviously anybody that's not a virgin has used coochie. So like what are you saying? You don't want used coochie like you want virgins? Like and I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some adult virgins out here. You know what I mean? Listen, more power to them. I wish it had been me. But at the end of the day, most people that are virgins are freaking teenagers. So that that don't sound right to me. Men age like wine, women into society age like milk. But I call bullshit on that because a lot of women in their 40s and 50s look better than they did in their 20s. The difference is a lot of us have more confidence in our 40s and 50s. By then, though, she's tired of being played with. You know what I'm saying? She's not about to put up with your bullcrap. She's tired of being lied to and used up emotionally. So by the time we're in our 40s and 50s, it's like all that cutesy pick me shit is out the window. It's like, you gonna come correct because at this point I come correct. I come with paperwork, deeds, papers, okay. Motherfuckers got their my charts. What do you have? And the crazy part about it is a lot of us give our best years to men who don't deserve them, don't appreciate them, don't respect them, and by the time we know our worth, society and them told us it's too late. But you know what? These the same men who used and abused us in our 20s. Now, when they get to their 50s, they call these same women that they was using back then their peers. Oh, now we're bitter, we're washed up, we're this and that. And here they go. What they're gonna do? They go and look for somebody's 20-year-old to go and put through the same stuff that these women that you call them bitter has been through. So, like I say, it's a never ending cycle. But nobody talks about what's causing the damage. The damage is caused because nobody is putting the Lord first. Nobody is going to God to get their mates. It's like we're all lust driven. And you heard me say I'm not trying to exempt myself from the equation. This is always self-reflection on this channel. It's self-reflection because what I say, we on a journey toward Jesus from wretched to righteous. Knowing is half the battle. You got to know where you going and where you coming from. If you don't, you're bound to go back in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. If you don't want to admit what you're coming from and where you're going, you got to admit where you're coming from and know where you're going. So you got to use discernment and faith because you got to be able to walk in faith to say you're going to be able to break this curse. You're going to be able to, hold out and pray for the one who's going to understand this, what you're saying, and rebuke it and choose to be the change he want to see. Because not all men is like this. You have not saying that they weren't at some time, but you do have some men who mature and understand a spade for a spade and choose to be the change that they want to see. Like I said, some men choose to change when they have kids, have daughters of their own. Some men choose to change. Sometimes tragedy happens or they just fall in love. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not saying that this is all men. I'm not saying this is all women. Not all women go for older guys. You know what I'm saying? But that's my whole point. Even the women that refuse to go for the older guys that come after them and just go for guys their age, right? The guys their age will do the same thing. They will play with them all throughout their 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Want to just have these long faux marriages, get them pregnant 2-3 times. Don't marry them. And then when they get 30 and 40 and 50, they now the woman is tired of getting used up by this guy. The guy is, he tired of arguing and blah, 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 because now this girl is now a woman and she wants you to treat her right because she's older now. So now that situation breaks up. Now the guy goes after a younger woman and the woman is like, okay, now what do I do? Do I go after a younger man? Because just like y'all think that we washed up in our 40s and 50s, just because y'all look good don't mean y'all not washed up. Because some of y'all don't look good. Trust me, all of y'all do not look like Method Man and Lorenz Tate and none of them. All of y'all don't look like them. Some of y'all look like Sammy. Have y'all seen Sammy lately? Sammy looks a hot mess. And he younger than me. And he was just looking good 5 years ago. So some of y'all really can't come on here, talking about women being washed up when y'all washed up too. Or better yet, y'all washed up more because you can't forget you got the Tarajis, you got the Marys. I see so many women that come through my salon in their 50s, 60s, 70s that's looking like they in their 30s, 20s. Okay. Women nowadays is keeping themselves up. We got D's, we got certificates, we own our own. Y'all love to say that women just want y'all for y'all money. The fact of the matter is a lot of y'all don't have a lot of money. Most of y'all that's on here talking about a woman wants y'all for y'all money don't got no money for real. Y'all don't hardly even got no 401ks. Y'all barely got vocabularies, let alone, stocks and bonds. Like, let's be for real. Like, what money do you really have for somebody? You don't have no goal for nobody to dig, sir. But you sitting up here talking about somebody gonna go dig you. You don't even have no goal to dig. And this is the problem. We have all this animosity towards each other about the wrong stuff. Good morning, Queen. We have all this animosity towards each other about the wrong stuff when if you wasn't looking at this money like it was your God, if you knew that God was your God and God was gonna provide you with whatever it is that you want to provide for your queen, then you won't be feeling so anxious about a woman expecting you to provide for her because you know God gonna provide for you and you gonna be able to provide for your queen. Whatever queen it is you got in your life, whether that's your friend, your girlfriend, your fiance, or your wife, at whatever stage that you want to be in a woman's life as a man in her life, you're a man in her life. If you're not her man, if you choose to be a man in her life, trust God to provide whatever it is y'all need. But that's the problem. You're not trusting in God. So you bitter towards her and you want to find things to be mad at her about. You want to find reasons to try to say she's not worth $40. She's not worth, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, this $40 is just like sickening. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all want to sit up here and try to make it seem like, y'all is just such the prize when the fact of the matter is the relationship is the prize. Having the partnership is the prize. Neither person is the prize. Y'all two together and being together till death do y'all apart. A successful relationship is the prize. It shouldn't be 50-50, 70-30. It should be 100-100 plus what God's putting in. It's a threefold cord. It's not just what you bring. It's not just what she bring. Y'all coming together and bringing it to God. Y'all presenting y'all bodies as a sacrifice together as one to God. That's the prize. What y'all can do together is say one person can chase 100 people, two people can chase 10,000 or something like that in the Bible. Y'all know I'm learning. I'm reading it, I'm learning it, and I'm applying it to my life. So that application is that I know that my faith, what I can do against the kingdom of hell is only magnified and multiplied when I'm in a partnership with a God fearing man or when I'm in a partnership with a God giving friend as a friendship as whether it's a friend before a marriage, whether it's a friend just platonic friend, whether it's a friend just female platonic friend, whether it's a co-worker friend, whether it's associate, whether it's Facebook friend, whatever the case or your association with somebody is, for me, any association that I have with somebody, all I want to do is bring you closer to God, give you a smile on your face that day because you ran into me, because you know me. I just want to add to people's life. I don't never want to be a liability or take nothing away, a waste of time, none of that. It's gonna be a lesson and a blessing when you come in contact with J. Michelle Graham. Okay. Period, point blank. And because if nothing else, baby, I can pray with you, pray for you, and give you a scripture that helped me. That's all I got for you. If that ain't it, then it ain't nothing over here. And as far as, whether or not asking for too much, that's what I'm providing. That's what I bring to the table. And so that's what I expect. If you're, because I can't be your peace, Jesus is your peace. I can bring you the scripture that says where you can, go and look for your peace. I can pray with you that you can have peace, but I can't be your peace. And that's where guys mess up too. You cannot be looking for a woman to be your peace. God is your peace. The joy of the Lord is your peace. It's not a woman. A woman is your helpmeet. She's your assistant. She's your partner. She's not your peace. Now, y'all supposed to be able, when things are not peaceful, y'all need to come together and pray and find y'all peace in the Lord. It's not in each other. Good morning. Thank you guys for checking in with your girl Jenn. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about males, females relationships and how the question is, are women asking for too much or are guys just not willing to provide enough? Um, and for me, I feel like it's a little bit of both because I feel like both ends are going to the wrong place for their source. So that's gonna be it for that particular subject. I want to know what you think. Do you think guys are not providing enough for the women in their lives? Do you think women are requiring too much from the guys in their lives? Where do you think all of this should be coming from? Me personally, I think we should be going to the Lord in prayer for everything that we need, both the men and the women. It says in the Bible, be anxious for nothing, but for all things present your requests to God in prayer and supplication and thanksgiving. So y'all acting like y'all, first of all, the guys acting like y'all scared the women gonna take y'all for everything y'all got. So that's fear. Women, y'all acting like the guys gonna use y'all and not provide nothing and just take y'all for everything y'all got mentally and physically, which it can happen. But that's also fear. And the other thing can happen. Women can't, there are some gold digging, money hungry, sack chasing women out here. I understand that. But the same way there are some manipulative, narcissistic, physically and sexually abusive men out here. But you can't live in fear of that, especially not if you looking for love. And y'all know, like I say, I've been watching Pop the Balloon. I've been on Pop the Balloon. I'm on a journey toward Jesus. I'm also not married, and I want to be married. I'm not gonna play around like I don't want to be married. I want to be married. So I'm working on myself. I'm working on my relationship with my heavenly husband. I'm repenting daily. Every day I have to ask God for forgiveness because I sin every day. I'm not perfect, as do we all. So as soon as we come to realize that and come to realize how much more powerful our prayers are with a partner, I think it's understood that all of this animosity between men and women about who asking for too much and who bring it to the table and all that, that's a distraction. That's a way for the devil to keep us from being divinely paired up. It's a way for the devil to keep us not as powerful against his kingdom because he know that when we come together, two with that third fold core of God, that hell don't stand a chance. So I behoove you guys to pray about that. Ask God, what is it that you're afraid of? What is it that you think the opposite sex is going to take away from you to where you cannot let God divinely pair you up? Um, and think about how if there's this huge gap in, physiology and mental capacity, far as women, y'all going for these older men because, and hey, I was one of those. I'm just not coming off of that. Going for these older men because, yes, they can show you a better time. Yes, they are more mature and experienced. They probably better in bed. It's a lot. Understand, ladies. Trust me, I do. But the thing of it is, you're ultimately cheating yourself because 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, it's not always gonna be likely that that's gonna be your divine pair. So just pray about it. Just pray about it. But I will say this, even before you pray, if you're being used, abused, if you're experiencing narcissistic behavior, if you're being manipulated or abused in any kind of way, mentally, physically, verbally, any of that, and you're staying because of some monetary gain, don't rely on the Lord. He will supply you with 10 times whatever that man is giving you. Leave now, repent, ask the Lord for forgiveness, and ask Him to replace. Because listen, nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing lacking in the lives of believers. But you got to stand on that, though. You got to believe that you cannot stand on this relationship with this man that's dogging you out. Fellas, if this lady ain't for you, if she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't, she not sexy no more, you just really not feeling her, but you comfortable in this situation, is where you been, y'all got some kids, blah, blah, blah. Get out early. Do not drag this out 10, 15 years, knowing you're not happy, knowing you're going to resent her, knowing you're going to be bitter, knowing y'all both could get out now and possibly meet someone who you're much more compatible with. Meet the person that you were supposed to be with. If you are in an unhappy relationship, you need to understand it's probably just a distraction and a way for the devil to deny you from the perfect pairing that's going to have that powerful prayer partner that you're supposed to be with. Just because that person's sexy, just because that you've been with this person for 15 years and you got 10 kids, none of that matters if y'all is miserable and y'all barely speak, y'all don't go out, y'all don't do this, y'all don't do nothing together, y'all just stand together for the kids or for the habit of it all. No, don't do it. It's good. It's detrimental not only to your mental health, but them kids is not benefiting from you staying somewhere and y'all arguing with each other every day. It's just not. So I advise you to pray about it. That's what I advise. And understand that no, she's not asking for too much. No, you're not providing too little. You're both going to the wrong source. That's what Holy Spirit told me to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you're saying, what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do I not know what I'm talking about? I need to shut the HE double hockey sticks up. Whatever you think, leave me a comment, like this video, share, subscribe to the channel because number one is free. Okay. So I want you. And number two, it helps me to get in front of more people and it helps me to know what y'all really like to hear me talking about so I can do more videos because I just like doing videos. So why not? It might be somebody on here that agree with me or that don't, or they just want to hear because I like to watch people talk on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you do too, or you wouldn't be here. Speaking of which, speaking of talking on YouTube, tonight at 10 o'clock, it is episode 39 of Time to Talk It Out. We will be right here spilling the tea, kicking the bubbles with y'all like we always do. I want to thank y'all so much for subscribing to that channel, for watching the episodes. You already know I'm going to put the episode 39 on this channel Friday, but come check us out live tonight on Time to Talk It Out's YouTube and Time to Talk It Out's Facebook page. We really appreciate every time y'all stop by. And so that's it. Make sure you also check out my Ratchet Reactions playlist. I react to Pop the Balloons and all over the internet, and some of them is really funny. I appreciate all y'all that's been kicking it with me over there on that series. Other than that, I'm gonna wrap this up. I love you guys to life, and may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from another. Deuces.